Have you ever wondered why most airlines don't own their aircraft, even though they are the ones flying them daily? While it might seem logical that airlines would buy their own planes, the reality is far more complex. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the world of aircraft leasing, uncovering why it's the go-to choice for most airlines, including those in India. We'll look at real-world examples, the financial logic behind leasing, and how it shapes the aviation industry. What is aircraft leasing? Let's start with the basics. Aircraft leasing is when airlines rent aircraft from leasing companies for a fixed period instead of purchasing them outright. The two main types of leases are operating lease and financial lease. In operating lease, the airline rents the plane for a short-term period, usually 3 to 5 years. At the end of the lease, the plane is returned to the lessor. Financial lease is more akin to a loan, where the airline rents the aircraft but has the option to buy it after a certain period. Leasing allows airlines to operate a fleet without the massive upfront cost of purchasing aircraft. This is especially important for low-cost carriers and airlines in emerging markets like India. The financial benefits of leasing. Now let's talk numbers. Aircraft leasing is more than just a financial strategy. It's a lifeline for many airlines. Lower initial investment. Buying an aircraft can cost upward of $100 million per plane, not including maintenance, insurance, and crew training. Leasing eliminates the need for such hefty capital, allowing airlines to allocate funds elsewhere. Example, in India, IndiGo, the country's largest airline, has built its fleet predominantly through leasing. The airline doesn't own most of its planes, but operates them through long-term lease with companies like Aercap and GECAS. This has allowed IndiGo to expand rapidly without burdening itself with massive debt. Cash flow flexibility. Leasing is a great way to maintain cash flow stability. The lease payments are predictable and can be planned for, unlike the volatility of airline profits that depend on passenger demand, fuel prices, and market competition. Faster fleet expansion. With leasing, airlines can quickly add or reduce aircraft as needed, which is a huge advantage in the highly competitive aviation market. The flexibility to scale up or down in response to demand is critical. Example, SpiceJet, another major Indian airline, had a period of significant fleet expansion in the early 2010s, acquiring aircraft primarily through leases. This allowed them to keep up with the increasing demand for domestic travel. The role of leasing companies. So, who are the big players in aircraft leasing? Well, the market is dominated by a few major leasing companies such as Aircap, GECAS, and SMBC Aviation Capital. These companies own thousands of planes which they lease to airlines worldwide. Aircap, for instance, has over 1,300 aircrafts in its portfolio, leased to airlines across the globe. In India, they lease to major players like Air India and IndiGo, providing them with flexibility in fleet management. Leasing companies are like the banks of the aviation world. They finance the aircraft and rent them out to airlines, earning money through lease payments. The advantage for leasing companies is that they diversify their investments and spread risks by leasing aircraft to different airlines in various regions. Why don't airlines own their planes? You might still be wondering, if owning planes is so expensive, why don't airlines just buy them outright if they can afford it? The answer is simple: risk management. Depreciation and resale value. Aircraft, like cars, lose value over time. Owning a plane means absorbing the depreciation costs. A plane may be worth much less after 10 years, and selling it can be complicated. Example, Air India, which was in financial crisis a few years ago, and many of its owned aircraft lost value rapidly. Leasing, however, allowed the airline to avoid directly handling the depreciation and reselling issues. Market fluctuations. The aviation industry is cyclical. Airlines face fluctuations in demand due to global events, oil price volatility, and shifting passenger preferences. Leasing allows them to adjust their fleet size without the burden of owning aircraft that may become underused during a downturn. Example: Go Air, now rebranded as Go First, has been leasing aircraft to cope with demand volatility. This flexibility has allowed the airline to weather challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic without the added risk of owning a fleet of idle planes. The Indian context. India has one of the fastest growing aviation markets in the world, and leasing plays a crucial role in supporting that growth. IndiGo, the country's largest airline, predominantly leases its fleet with more than 200 aircrafts in operation. This allows IndiGo to maintain flexibility and expand its fleet rapidly to meet increasing demand. Similarly, Air India, after its privatization by Tata Group, has also relied on leasing to manage its diverse fleet. It has worked with leasing companies to secure aircrafts for both short and long-term needs as part of strategy to restructure and modernize. Moreover, leasing in India has been boosted by government's focus on infrastructure development, regional connectivity, and the push for airlines to expand. Indian airlines often face financial constraints and operational challenges, making leasing a strategic tool for success. The future of aircraft leasing looks promising, with India's aviation industry projected to be the third largest in the world by 2030. Airlines will continue to rely on leasing for fleet management as they seek to adapt to market changes quickly. However, leasing could become more competitive with newer technologies. As the industry moves towards more sustainable aviation practices, airlines might lease electric or hybrid aircraft in future, adding an entirely new layer to this model. Whether it's IndiGo's rapid expansion or Air India's post-privatization strategy, leasing has played a pivotal role in the success of Indian Airlines. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks into the aviation world. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. We love hearing from aviation enthusiasts like you. See you in the next one.